Welcome, y'all. We're here to do another Conelanders Dirt Rally League event. This week it will be Monaco, 1970s rear-wheel drive cars. Yeah. That's gonna be fun. So far, we may not be exactly fast, but we should be alright. Gonna be able to do much better than I expected earlier this week when I started testing. So, you can see my awesome setup I have of default, because I know what I'm doing. But without further ado, let's get to it.
5, 4, 3,
You'll also notice I changed my
1,
camera view because I found that the the in-game steering wheel and dude's arms just screwed with my head way too much.
into right 3.
Use guardrail as a guide there.
Long crest.
Not that I meant to do that, but whatever.
Right 1 long tightens. Into left 2 half long. And left 5 long 170 over crest. Keep left over crest. Into open hairpin right.
So I know compared to some of the really fast people in places like that where I brake way too early,
Into right 6.
kind of cowarding out, I know that's where I'm losing some time,
Right
but
6 long crest.
like the fastest person has another 30 seconds on me here, and no matter how hard I pushed, even if I didn't DNF because I was over pushing, I have no idea where that 30 seconds is coming from.
Into right 5. Into left 1 long tightens.
I guess what I need to do is just actually practice this a bit more, or practice this game a bit more,
Long 100. Hairpin right.
which I am working on. It's just I know this game's been out for a while and I'm just starting, so I have a lot of catching up to do.
Right 4 long.
Hey, just like with iRacing.
Left 2 long.
And Assetto Corsa.
Into right 2 long. Left
Can we play
3
Battlefield
long.
2142? I think I might actually have a chance at that. Do buggy races.
Into right 3 long. Into left
Not that I'm the greatest driver in those either, but I have a lot more experience than with all these. And of course, have never done that one before there.
right 3 long, don't cut over crest.
But gotta find new and exciting ways to screw up.
Left 4. Into right 6, 60.
As we do. As we do.
Hairpin right opens.
So not that I remember my sector times, but
And left 4 continues for 100.
we're on pace for about an average time with this. With that screw up there, probably a bit slower than
Left 6 over
I've done in the
crest.
past, but
And left 2 opens over crest, 150. Right 6 continues for 100.
and funnily enough, these fast sections are the part that I have some of my hardest time with, because, yeah, that's a left, not a right.
60.
Hello.
Left 6.
I think it's because of places like Sweden and Finland where you catch a little snowbank and round you go.
150 over crest.
But I also found some steering wheel settings I needed to turn down a bit, because I had everything set up for the Mini, the 1960s Mini, and that thing just has like this steering wheel dead zone where you have to steering sucks.
And ice patches from here.
I've driven a fire truck that had better steering response than that thing did.
Continues for 100. Into right 5. Into left 6. Into right 4 long, don't cut. Into care left 1 long, narrow on exit.
So
Into right 6 half long, 150 through dip.
of course it really didn't affect my speed a whole lot, but I feel a little bit better going through the various parts. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Actually not too shabby at all. See, I got like 30 seconds I need to find in there somewhere, which yeah. 43rd so far. Wow, we must make up a lot of time in the third stage, because yeah, I am way behind right now. But I know my best overall time was like 16:20, 16:30-ish. 16:22. 21, sorry, 21. Did pretty well. Should put us in like the top 30s, if I can pull that off. So, that's the goal, but got to first not finish. We got to not DNF first. Got to not finish. Because double negatives is fun.
Into right 5 half long, 130, left 6 over crest.
In the career mode, I've kind of been screwing around with like one of the rear wheel or four-wheel drive cars. And man, hitting the handbrake and nailing that turn, one of those hairpins is so, like, feels so rewarding.
And right 2 long tights to 1. Into left 2 and right 1 100.
If only I could figure out how to do it in this thing worth a darn.
Right 5 over crest. Into left 1 half long. Into right 4. And left 2 half long.
Yeah, with the way the ice is on this, I do leave it in a slightly higher gear to try to limit wheel spin a little bit.
Right 6 long over crest, 100.
Here's a fast section. Let's not screw up at the end though, where it's not so fast.
And left 2 long past junction 60.
Yeah, not great.
Left 4 long 80.
That may have been a bit slow, but
Caution left 5 long.
Urgh.
And hairpin right.
I don't think we're going to be getting our 16:30 on this run.
And right 6 long.
If
40.
this is an indication at all.
Right 6 over crest 60. Caution left 2 times to 1 bad camber. Into right 2 long 100.
But I think overall this is actually kind of a fun track, even with rear wheel drive. Then again, I'm one of those crazy people that really likes a good challenge. And take it a little bit slow through here, because my first try with the Mini, I kept like DNFing there just over and over again during in the career. And I may or may not have DNF'd there once or twice during practice with this. Maybe.
Hairpin right.
I will neither acknowledge or disacknowledge, or
Tight 60.
I choose not to speak about the actual facts to that statement. And that would be another one of those really nasty places I would DNF a lot.
Into open
It's like, oh, hey, it opened up. Ah, no, it didn't.
Into left 5 half long over crest.
And now I'm just getting on the gas a wee bit too much here. Trying to rush, and that's not helping.
Into right 1 long 40. Left 2 opens and continues with 80.
Especially because if you start getting much wheel spin on this and you're not perfectly straight, back's coming around to say hi.
Into right 2 long crest.
Wants to see what you're doing.
And right 1.
Feels lonely.
Into left 6. Into right 4 long don't cut. Into open hairpin left. Tightens. To left 3 long.
Actually remembered that one that time.
Into left 3.
That one usually would catch me out a little bit to where I'd
2 tightens to 1.
have to really do an emergency braking.
Into left 4 long 40.
Screw you, Sam.
Turn right 4 to finish.
Oh, there we go. That didn't feel too bad. It's not that great. All right, so now we got to find a minute and a half to be competitive here. And I really don't think we will. Well, we gained 10 places there. So not too bad. Definitely not going to be too unhappy about that. Don't have to be happy about it, but don't have to be mad about it either. So. So I don't know if y'all saw the Assetto Corsa League we were starting to do. That was pretty fun. Really enjoyed that. Still don't know how those fast people were doing, the lap times they were doing, because I could just not find that speed.
2, 1, go.
Looking over Sharky's replay, or his highlights, it looks like it's just a controller inputs, or a turning thing is like a big part. I can talk now. Looks like it's a big part of it.
Left 5, to right 3 times 260.
Something I will have to work on.
Left 2 long, open 60. Right 2 long, 80 over crest. Left 3, into right 3 half long, 60.
So there's a left 2 coming up here that I can never remember where it is. I think it's next after this.
Left 2.
Yep, there it is.
Right 6.
It's like you have all those 3s and all of a sudden it's like, oh, here's a 6. Time to go. And there's like, up, sucker, 2.
Right 5 into
Like
a
that.
cute left. Left 6 long.
So
Right 5, don't cut.
I haven't found whether doing with the rear wheel drive, if doing the handbrake on those is worthwhile or not. I generally avoid it unless I'm just like not getting the rotation I need.
And left 6 long.
And then I'll throw a little bit in there just to help the car in around.
Caution right 3.
I know in like rear wheel
Right 3
or
opens 80.
4-wheel drive and front wheel drive cars,
Down, cute left.
you can't just claw your way back to the apex.
60. Left 6 long. Right 3.
I'm a bit slow right
Left
now.
4 over crest long. Left 3 long.
Not really
60,
happy with my
caution
pace
to
currently.
right.
Nope. And I haven't done that one in a while, so that's irritating.
Right 6 long, tightens over crest and continues, and right 5. Left 4 tight. Right 6 into left 5 long, 60, keep right over crest. Right 6, 80. Caution right 1 long, 100.
See, there's another thing. I still have not yet quite figured out the timing for all the calls in this game yet.
Left 4. Right 6.
I've kind of gotten better to where if he just says the turn, it means you need to start doing something now.
Caution 60, acute left.
But with the modifier, then it's more than likely it's going to be a little bit, unless he called it right after another turn.
Right 5 times 4 long, don't cut.
And if he's like, if he gives a number, like 60, 80, 100, or a distance,
Right 6
then that means you got a little bit of
long
time
over
between.
crest, 5 and continues into care left 1 long.
And long, I think, is a modifier on the turn itself, like how, the length of it. But I swear there have been times where he's called long on a turn that was like forever and a day ahead. So,
Right 3
oh, ice patches from here. That means we have some asphalt in places then, right?
Right 3 don't cut.
Because he called
And
ice
left 3 into
from here
right 6
earlier.
over 100 don't cut. Caution into acute right 60.
Gotta be on the left side for that.
Left 5 over 120. And right 3. Left 3 over crest. Into right 2 long into crest.
Doopity-doo. Back and forth, back and forth.
Left 6 150.
No, Mr. Wall, I don't want to talk to you today.
Right 3 long 100.
As well, after a race in Sweden I did, I've gotten really good at smacking the wall and doing a complete 360.
Left 360. Caution.
I may have to go quiet here for a second.
into right 4 long, into left 6, right 5 over crest times 3, 120 down. Caution left 3 long, 60, hairpin right. Right 3 over crest, 100.
That was unfortunate. Fortunately, I was not able to carry the spin all the way through in a reasonably fast way.
Into right 1.
Yeah, this is one of those straights where I know I'm losing a lot of time because I'm not getting to the end before coward braking a lot.
Right 3 long, into left 4.
Because I can never remember where it is by the time I get to it.
Right 5, and left 5 half long, 60. Caution right 4 times the 1. Left 2 long, 60. Left 5, 100.
And of course, now that it counts, I'm screwing up like a scrub.
Into left 3. Into right 4, left 5.
Then again, I am a scrub, so I'm just being me.
Caution 60, right 3 over big bump, keep in. Left 4 half long, 100. Keep left over crest. Caution right 6 long, acute left, 100. Keep left over crest. Into right 6 long. Caution 100 down, hairpin right.
So next week is going to be a very fun week for me. Have Sonoma for Skip Barber, Road Atlanta for Star Mazda, whatever track we do for Assetto Corsa. I think we're doing Flying Finland next week for Dirt Rally. And I have issues with Finland because it has the same kind of berm Sweden does, and those and I don't get along when going quick. At least I got the spin figured out, so it should help me quite a bit when I start spinning like a madman.
Into crest, left 3, and left 3 long 80. Right 3 long tightens. Into left 1 long.
Ooh, that was a bit close.
Into right 4. And left 6. Into right 3 tightens 2, keep out. Left 5 over
Oh, and I have Interlagos to learn for Reddit Racing League.
into right 3.
For Reddit iRacing League.
Caution left 6 over 80 times hairpin left.
Which I don't expect to be competitive in that because, oh, those people are... They got some pretty quick folks there.
Right 5 times hairpin right
But
long.
I do want to have... I want to not be an obstacle
Into left 4.
or a hazard more like
Right 6, 60.
if I don't know the track.
Left 6, left 4 into tunnel, 80. Right 3 long, 60, crest. Into right 5. Into left 4 long, 60.
I think since we actually have traction, this should be our fastest area, but
Left 3 long, open some tightens.
yeah, I am really slow right now.
4. And right 3 half long.
Be happy. I'll probably have to be happy with the 17,
Right 4, 120 crest.
which is unfortunate.
Into left
Currently, the
5
league is
long,
supposed to
100.
have restarts for the entire event
Crest
enabled,
jump main,
but
60. Left 3 long, 60.
for some reason it's broken. So you can't push too hard or you're going to DNF and then, well, got to finish to win it.
1 long. Into caution, right 2 deceptive, keep out past junction opens. Into right 2 to finish.
But here we go. And that's that. I'll have to take whatever that ends up being. Yeah, that's a terrible time. And we end up with... Whoa, what? All right. I somehow still got a 1621, even though I think that was slow as heck. Guess I'll have to take it. You know, oh, woe was me. I have to take that. And that's a pretty reasonable time, especially compared to how we did last week. Last week was terrible. Well, good luck in your races, and y'all take it easy.